What's good, everyone? Welcome to the SCBBL show. I'm starting to feel like 3 is my lucky number. It's episode 3, and today we have Nina Nesbitt, who has been in the modeling industry for over 30 years. She's bringing all of her talent and expertise back to the state that raised her. So let's jump into this episode so you can find out all about it. What's good, everyone? Welcome to season 2 of South Carolina by Black Locally, SCBBL show. What's good, everyone? Welcome to season 2 of South Carolina by Black Locally, SCBBL show. Good evening, everyone. Today is episode number 3. I am with the lovely Nina Nesbitt.
Hey.
Hi, Nina.
Hey, Candace. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
I'm so honored to have you on the show. Nina, your name speaks for itself. Nina Nesbitt, modeling industry for over 30 years.
Yes.
And you are out here. You brought all of this magnificence back to South Carolina.
Thank you.
And I was talking with you earlier, just telling you how a lot of times people who are talented, who have spent time in South Carolina, often go off and they have this talent in all of these big cities like Charlotte, Atlanta, New York, LA.
Right.
And I think I shared with you earlier also that when I see industry direct, it's not like a ton or overkill of advertisement. But with that advertisement, you have people who come from all over the world.
Yes.
And you bring them to South Carolina.
Yes.
And I love it. So just watching and studying you, I was like, I have to get her on the show. She has to share this knowledge with us.
Well, thank you so much, Candace. And the funny thing is that probably 90% of my business is word of mouth.
Yeah.
So it makes a big difference.
Right. And some of us don't, the new school don't really know how to do word of mouth efficiently.
So we had the social media. Right.
Which is not always efficient either.
Right.
But that's just what we know. So yeah, just tell us about Nina.
Well, I've been in the industry for over 30 years, like you said. For me, I always knew it was something I wanted to do in spite of my circumstances. My mother was like, no, you're going to school. No, right? But for me, I always knew that there was more for me to do.
Right.
So in stepping out in this industry at about 20 years old, I sort of beat the pavement. So I made a lot of mistakes. I did some right things. I did a whole lot of wrong things. And I found my way as a result. I lived in Paris and Germany, Switzerland. I did New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. I mean, I did all of that. And in doing that, you're right, in bringing that to South Carolina, now people don't have to make the same mistakes I made, you know? And I knew that who knew that God was preparing me the whole time to come back to South Carolina and to share the knowledge, whether people are ready to hear it or not.
It's beautiful. Just having that presence here, like a lot of people in the area don't always take advantage of it. I feel like in South Carolina, we have this mentality that shies us away from greatness in a sense, as far as, you know, it might be right within our grasp, but it's too close to be believable almost.
Yes.
And so the fact that when I follow you on social media and you're announcing that this kid just got signed up for this, you know, movie set, or this person is, you know, featured in a photo shoot for fashion, all of these different things. It's amazing.
And I'm always excited about it because so many people here wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise.
Yes.
There are, the resources here are very limited, but it's also a culture. I think the mentality is a culture where you have to, you know, I've been developing mentalities now here in Charleston for like 10 years, 11 years that I've been in business here. Right. So all I know is just, you know, keep my nose to the grind, and every person that I can help to get further than they could have or would have or even dreamt of, right?
Yes.
Laying that foundation and making sure that they're prepared so they can make educated decisions in the industry. They don't have to just fall and happenstance. They can actually be purposeful in this industry.
What were some things that as a kid you knew that fashion was it, or you knew that acting or whatever, you knew that was it?
Well, so I graduated from Berkeley High School, right? I told you. But so I was really tall, and back then they didn't make pants in long, right? So all my pants were high waters all the time. And people used to look at me like, why you know, flood and your high water pants? And there was a shoe shop, the Burroughs shoe shop out of Monk's Corner.
Yeah.
She used to sell me the pointy-toed shoes from the 1960s for 25 cents.
Wow.
So I bought the high-heeled pointy-toed shoes, and I rocked my high water pants with my 4-inch pointy-toed shoes.
Okay.
And back then I had big hair, and so I was making waves a long time. I had very little friends because I was too different, but I knew that when I came to school, I'd be like, oh, she needs to wear this. He needs to put on that. You need to change your hair. You need to, you know what I mean? So for me, I knew, because that's how I lived my life, always trying to make people better. You know, they could look better and walk better, and they could speak better and eat better,
Yeah.
I was doing that since a teenager.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's some of the initiatives that you have going on right now for the Industry Direct?
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so you know that this will be the first time that I'm taking a group with me to Paris in May. That's right.
Wow.
I have Yes, we're going to Paris in May, and it's a wonderful opportunity because everybody is African American. And I think that the European market is opening up more now for different shades of diversity.
Right.
We have a Muslim girl that's going, Layla Ibrahim. I have people that travel to me from Virginia Beach, from Wilmington, from New York. I mean, we're all collectively meeting in Paris to make that happen. That's great. Then I also have something that's going on in July, which is the International Model and Talent Association. It's a huge convention. It's the largest convention in the world. We're casting people, directors, producers, agents, managers. They all come out just for 1 week ever in New York City in July. And
that's massive.
You may know something about that.
Oh yeah, because my baby will be going.
So yeah, and so that's always exciting because just to get out in front of 500 people in the industry that can make a decision in your life and in your goals and your career. Right. I mean, it's better than beating the pavement. I mean, you couldn't meet these number of people if you're knocking on doors. And I did it in 1996.
Wow.
So that's what launched my career.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell that this is your passion, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So what keeps you going?
I made a promise. Years ago, I remember I was in a cab and I was riding to go to auditions, and I actually had a heart attack in the back of a cab. And you know how there's a plexiglass in front of the cabs? Mm-hmm. I thought to myself, if I reached through that little window, if the guy who didn't even speak English, if he would hold my hand.
Wow. But
I said, okay, God, if you give me this opportunity, right? If you give me the chance, I'm going to do right, live right, and I'm going to give back. Mm-hmm. And I push hard every day. I try to be, faithful to that promise every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just very rewarding when you can see the products of your labor.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, and I know, my goal isn't to hold your hand all the way to stardom, right? Mm-hmm. My goal is to provide you with the foundation.
Yep.
So that you can stand on a strong foundation as you go through this industry.
Right.
The idea is to launch,
mm-hmm.
To place people with agencies and managers that can take them to the next level.
So how about some myth busters? Because, when I talk to people about my daughter and, going into the agency and things like that, some of the things that they think about is, oh my God, New York is a tough market. She better have tough skin, and then you better be careful with this not agency, but the modeling and talent arena, things like that. And I'm like, well, I trust the agent that she's with. The agent is from South Carolina, so she mm-hmm. knows all of our way of
That's
thinking
right.
and things like that.
That's right. And to be honest with you, New York is a beast.
Yeah.
It really is. But no one told me, Nina, you can say no. Mm-hmm. And no is a sentence, right? It's the beginning, the end, it's the adjective, period. The verb, it's the noun, it's the period, it's the exclamation. It's everything you need. But once you have a sense of confidence, that's the difference.
Right.
So when people get eaten up in New York or LA because they lack confidence to say no, they lack the confidence to go another path. They feel like, oh, I have to do this to make it. You don't. The best thing you can do is stay true to yourself.
That's right.
So I teach my kids that. We want their uniqueness. They don't have to be like anybody else. Right. Just be yourself.
Right.
Let's find something new. Let's mm-hmm. discover something new.
Awesome.
So they're prepared for New York, just like they'll be prepared for Paris and they'll be prepared for Los Angeles.
Okay,
they're prepared. That's right. That's right.
And I don't think you don't have any children, right?
I do.
You do have children?
I have one son.
Oh.
Yes, I do. He's 32.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, darling. So
Awesome.
he's 32, and when I traveled to Paris and did my shows, he was with me.
Nice.
So when I was 28, I did Teen Magazine at 28 years old. I didn't tell him I had an 8-year-old child. I was 100 pounds, and I cut my hair off, and I blinked a lot, you know.
Wow.
And my son was in school, and I did Teen Magazine, and I went to pick him up.
Right.
So, you know, yeah. So he's very exposed to the industry.
So that leads me to my next question. Being a mom,
Yes.
being a businesswoman,
Yes.
you know, what advice can you give other women who are womenpreneurs, mompreneurs, things like that? What advice could you give them?
The advice that I would give is really to follow your gift, right? Your gift will make way for you, room for you, right? So follow that gift. You know, God is so great because he's given us first level, second level, third level, fourth level gifts, right? Because we're gifted women.
Yes.
We're gifted at everything we touch is gold. So in understanding what your gift is, and sometimes you have to find that gift. You have to search for it. Don't just start a business because somebody else started it and they're successful. You know, what's that unique thing that God has given you?
Definitely.
To open up doors for you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would say. And then surround yourself with people that are positive. I stay on the grind. I have on blinders. Yeah, because I don't have time for people who aren't like-minded or people who aren't ready to take the next level or people who can't say, you know, be supportive of the direction that God has me going. I just know I need to stay on my path. If I do my job, you know, my job will get done.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Everything else falls in line.
It does. So that's what I would say. You know, follow your purpose. Your purpose.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Yours.
Your own purpose. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have anything else that you want to share with not small city, but our wonderful city of Charleston? Do you have anything else that you would like to share with the people?
I do.
Okay.
Charleston is a wonderful place, right? And it has a very, very rich history. Don't take our history for granted.
Right.
Don't take that history for granted. We are strong. We are beautiful. We are special.
Yes.
We're unique people, and it's okay.
Right.
You know, there's so much exposure when it comes to, you know, people want to come to Charleston because of our history. They want to be here and see the slave houses and, you know, the market and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Charleston is disrespectful in a whole lot of ways.
Yeah.
Right? But we are still resilient. We are still beautiful. And we owe it to ourselves to reach.
Yep.
We owe it to ourselves to reach. Reach beyond the mentality that's not here to support us. But we know there's something inside of us that keeps saying push, reach higher, do more. Listen to that voice, right?
Yes.
That's the Holy Spirit. Listen to that voice. That's what I would say to Charleston. You know, so many people are kind of locked down and afraid.
Yeah.
But there's a beautiful world out there.
Definitely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Ms. Nina, how could people follow you, stay in touch with you, see what you have going on?
Well, so I actually have an audition going on,
Okay.
an audition, right? On March 16th at 2 o'clock. It's going to be at, is it okay if I look at the camera?
Yes.
It's going to be at my studio, Industry Direct Studios, at 3262 Landmark Drive. That's in North Charleston, 29418. And it starts at 2 o'clock. Just bring a smile and a photo you can leave with us. It starts at 2 o'clock, but that's a good way for you to get more information on what it is that Industry Direct can do for you.
Wonderful. And also online, you're Nina Nesbitt.
Oh, yeah. On Facebook, it's Nina Nesbitt. You can Google me at Nina Nesbitt Model Coach. Someone else pops up if you just do Nina Nesbitt sometime. I think we're the only two people in the world that have the same name.
Yeah,
have you tried it? And my website is www.industrydirectmodels.com. Oh, and my phone number, you can give me a call. It's 843-225-1834. That's 843-225-1834.
Awesome. So before we sign off, I always shout out my businesses. This lovely banner came from Jules Events. You can find her on Facebook. And I have a shirt campaign going on where I'm working with Black-owned businesses. So the shirt that I'm wearing right now was done by Patrina Bryant. And more information will be posted on our website and on our Facebook page about where you can get any of the South Carolina Buy Black Locally shirts that I'll be wearing for this season's 2 episodes of recording. So once again, Miss Nita, it's been wonderful having you on.
you.
I'm so
Thank
grateful
you.
for all that you've brought to the city, what you're doing, and I know that you're going to take the kids who are up under you far.
Amen. Thank you for
Amen.
that.
So it's your girl Candace signing off with South Carolina Buy Black Locally, and we'll see you next time.